Let's get your US programming working wherever you are. Go from this to this. Now for me, this worked on the TV, on my iPad, computer, but it did not work on my smartphone, so just a heads up. I will show you what I tried. Whether or not it does work, maybe I'm just missing something. If you guys figure it out, leave it in the comments down below for the rest of the people that check this out. Now the way that this works is by changing your DNS server. So you can either do this one of two ways. One is on the device, and I'll show you how to do that. And the other one is by changing the DNS on a router. Now the downside of this is it'll then affect all your traffic. Good thing for me is I had a spare router kicking around, so I'll show you how to hook that up. And then the easy way of doing it then is just connecting to the Wi-Fi of that router to flip your programming back and forth between, in my case, Canada and the US. So first thing we're gonna need that DNS IP. You can skip part of this step if you head over to smartdnsproxy.com and go to /servers. Link is down below. Scroll on down, get yourself an IP that's close to your location. And if there's a bunch listed and you're concerned about the speed, if you type in window key and then CMD, it'll get you a command prompt. And then what you do is just type in ping and the IP addresses that are available to you. Once you've got those all punched through, just go back through and take a look at the one that has the lowest latency. So as you can see for me, I think it's 41 is my magic number, and then I just take the IP that's right above it and I'll write that down. Next I'll head over to my TV, and my TV lets me change my IP address, so this is great. So as you can see here right now, I've got the Canada Netflix going on. So I'll go into the network configuration. And there's usually some kind of an option here to change your IP, typically in advanced. Once you get into your DHCP or your IP setting, change it to manual and go down to preferred DNS. Go ahead and punch in that IP address that you've got, or that we just found. And once you got that thing entered, hit OK. And you exit back out, and you'll notice it'll still be on Canadian Netflix or whatever country that you're in. You do typically have to shut your device off and turn it back on. Some you might actually have to unplug to get them to flip over to the new DNS. So boot that thing back up, and wait a second, forgot one step here. You do have to go to the Smart DNS website and go to /my account. That link is down below as well. And you do have to activate your IP. This is so people can't share the IPs and it just doesn't get it everywhere. Plus, if everybody had a hold of it and your IP wasn't activated, it would also let Netflix or Amazon or whatever you're trying to achieve shut it down. So once I get to the website in my account there, all I gotta do is click on the activate, and as soon as you do that, power my TV back up here again. And I'll play a little bit in the shadow with me in the reflection, because I'm partially an idiot. And there we go. There's our US Netflix working. Now if you can change the DNS setting on the whatever it happens to be that you're trying to work with, and even if you can, this is probably going to be an easier method for a majority of people if you have a spare router kicking around. Go to your existing router, pop in a cable and attach it to your old router in the Ethernet or the internet port, and then fire it up. And once you get into your internet, or once you log into your router, just go into and change the DNS setting there to exactly the same IP that we just talked about. And that's it. Name your Wi-Fi something else. In my case here, I just added a -US behind it. Save, close, pop it on the shelf, and now anytime you want to watch US programming, just connect to that Wi-Fi, and if you want to watch your Canadian or whatever your other programming is, connect to your normal Wi-Fi. You'll have to reboot the device, of course, but As soon as your device is rebooted, off you go. Much simpler than flipping back and forth between different DNSs, in my opinion. So this is what I ended up doing for my iPad, and you can tell as soon as I connected to the Wi-Fi, logged in my Netflix there, you can see I have the US Netflix connected right away. So super easy swap there. Here again, I did have to reboot after I connected to the US Wi-Fi that I just set up. For the computer, I didn't have to do any reboot or anything there. All I had to do is swap a cable or connect to the Wi-Fi, and it immediately actually, I just had to relaunch Netflix or relaunch my browser, and that worked right away. And the one that I could not get to work, the phone, I'll go through what I tried here, and they do have a bit of a disclaimer here you can see as well. So the first thing I tried is I tried what was already working for me everywhere else, and that was just changing the IP. So I did that and just swapped the IP. Gave it the old reboot and still had Canadian Netflix. Second thing I tried is I followed the 2 IPs that they had in the instructions there, popped those in, gave it a reboot, and still had the Canadian Netflix. And then the third thing I tried is popping it over to that US Netflix Wi-Fi that I set up, or the US Wi-Fi. And after connecting to that, rebooting, still Canadian. I figured it might have something to do with it connecting to my wireless service provider. So what I did then is I put my phone into airplane mode, and the only thing I turned on was the Wi-Fi. Connected again to the US Netflix, gave that a reboot, and still no luck. So kind of scratching my head with how to make that work. The only other thing that I thought might do the trick is pulling the SIM, but I'm not willing to go that far. If you like the video that you've seen here today, give me a thumbs up, maybe even toss in a sub if you like seeing this ugly mug working around. That lets YouTube know that this content is valuable, and maybe somebody else will end up benefiting from it as well. Till next time.